Hi there everybody, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles Vinyl Fair haul. Yes, recently I went down the road, literally down the road here, to the square here in Little Centre, and there was a vinyl fair, and I managed to pick up some really interesting albums, some that I've been after for quite a while, some my first foray into the band. So yeah, let me just show you what I got. I didn't get too many, so it'll be quite a short video. For vinyl, and I also got 2 CDs and also albums that I've been after for some time. So let's get stuck in, why don't we? So this album that I got of Pink Floyd's, it's not an easy listen. Part live, part studio, and for me it's also one of those Floyd's where it's this sort of bridge between the early psychedelic stuff with Syd Barrett and the later work with David Gilmour. David Gilmour is on this album. But yeah, it's still not as accessible as, say, Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here. But if you're a completist like I am, you want to have it in your collection. So I'm waffling on about Umaguma, one of the really interesting cover, which sort of, you see how it plays out there, very clever. And apparently I wasn't aware of this, but I was told by my next door neighbor, who was also really into her vinyl, that in the one original pressing, there was a picture of that movie. I think it was called Gigi, and because of copyright, whatever, they weren't really allowed to have that picture of her on there. So this is a different. This is a British pressing. Recording. No, I think this is an EMI Harvest recording, but I know this is a different pressing because that's different on the original album cover. Anyway, a bit of useless information for you. There at the back you can see the, I don't know who that is, if that's actually, it might be Richard Wright, or it might just be the roadies standing with what at that stage was a lot of stuff for a band to have. The timpani and the drums and the amps and what have you. Of course today with people playing in spheres and what have you, it's a whole different ball game. And there's some cool photographs of the band inside. Very moody looking Richard Wright there. Roger Waters in the middle. They got Nick Mason. And David Gilmour's also somewhere here. Oh, there he is. Very young David Gilmour. Just released his new solo album where he looks a little older. So what's on here? Umaguma starts off. The live album recorded at Mothers Birmingham and Manchester College of Commerce, June 1969. So that's the live part of the double. Astronomy Domain, which is an early Syd Barrett tune. Careful with that Axe Eugene, Waters, Wright, Mason, and Gilmour. They wrote that. And then on side 2 is Set to Controls for the Heart of the Sun. That's Roger Waters. He wrote that. And then you get A Source of the Secrets, which has got 4 different parts. Something Else, Syncopated Pandemonium, Storm Signal, Celestial Voices. So that's all on the first record. I haven't yet had a listen to this. I do know about the album, but it's been a while since I've listened to this. So I must still get stuck into this. Then on the second record, on side 3, you've got the studio album featuring Richard Wright. It says yes, it's something that he wrote called Sisyphus. Then you get part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Then Grantchester Meadows, I think this is also live. Oh no, that's a track by featuring Roger Waters. And then the weirdest title for a song that you've probably ever heard in your life. Several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a Pict. And that was written by Roger Waters. Surprise, surprise. Well, there you go. If you want to call a song something, you can call it that. And then you get side 4, featuring David Gilmour, The Narrow Way. That's Gilmour's song, parts 1, 2, and 3. And then Nick Mason. So each band member really gets a shout here on the studio version. The Grand Vizier's Garden Party, part 1, 2, and 3. So there we go. Umaguma. I finally got my hands on this after many years of... I know I almost bought it on CD a couple of years back. And I'm glad I got the vinyl. And it's in pretty good nick as well. And I got this for a good price. You go to these fairs, you can always knock the guys down in price. So there we go. That's the first one. Second one I got. Also, now this is my first foray into this band. I've obviously heard this stuff before. And the musicianship is just out of this world. I'm talking about the Mahu Vishnu Orchestra. And this, if I'm not mistaken, was their first album, The Inner Mounting Flame. And yeah, this is this I have listened to, and it blows your mind. Produced by John McLaughlin, he's the guitarist in the band. Billy Cobham on drums. I mean, how's that for a drummer? Billy Cobham, amazing. Rick Laird on bass, incredible bass player. Jan Hammer on piano and Jerry Goodman on violin. Just shot of the guys at the back. This is jazz fusion of the top draw. I mean, it's just incredible stuff. This is cover needs a bit of TLC, so that's the album poking out at the bottom there. Meeting of the Spirits, Dawn, The Noonwood Race, A Lotus on Irish Streams, that's side one. Vital Transformation, The Dance of Maya, which is an incredible track. You Know, and Awakening. Some of the guitar work on here from John McLaughlin. You know, you talk about your Yngwie Malmsteen's shredding and whatever. These guys did it way before. I mean, this came out in, what year was this? 1970? Something like that. Early 70s at least. Let me see if I can get a date for you here. What does it say? No, it doesn't. But I'm pretty sure it's a 1970 release or around that time. Yeah, of course, John McLaughlin also did work with Carlos Santana, and he also teamed up with Aldo Meola and Paco de Lucia Saturday night in San Francisco, or Friday night in San Francisco. That's another album I need to get. But this is, yeah, you want some serious headphone music? Stick this on. Glad I got all of that. I want to get some more of this stuff as well. And then as far as the other vinyls go, I've got two Genesis that I've been after for a while. Foxtrot and Nursery Crime. And these are quite recent releases. The sound quality is very cool on here. Thanks my good friend Peter DeWitt, who's one of the guys selling vinyl at the fair. I just love these covers. Very English sounding prog. There's a shot of the guys at the bottom there. This is obviously still with Peter Gabriel in the band. So Foxtrot, you've got Get 'Em Out by Friday. What else is in here? Timetable, Supper's Ready. That is the best track on here. That's a lengthy track. I think that takes up a whole of the second side. And yeah, the lyrics as well are really out there. Also headphone music, definitely. So that's Genesis. And the other one is Nursery Crime. I think both these covers are done by the same guy. You can see, and inside you've just got the lyrics. And what else can I tell you? The musical box, Harold the Barrel, Seven Stones, The Fountain of Salmachus, The Return of the Giant Hogweed. Some excellent stuff on your Harlequin. I need to give both of these albums still a good listen. I think I have listened to Foxtrot. I need to give Nursery Crime a good listen. You know, you want to get... This is the kind of music that you want to dive into and really get immersed in the lyrics and the musicianship, and it's not 3-minute pop songs there. And then finally, this I was very chuffed about. Another one of the guys that I know, Marwan Ludewijk, he also sells vinyl. He noticed it at one of the guys selling CDs, and it was a good price, and he knows that I'm into this band and that I've been looking for their stuff, so he said, hey, check this out. And it was a really good price. It was one of those BGO releases. I'm not sure what country that label is from, but these have been digitally remastered. Two Gentle Giants, Octopus and Three Friends. This is really early stuff, and then Octopus came a bit later. That's the Octopus cover. And there's the Three Friends at the back. That's a Three Friends cover. This I haven't listened to yet. So, excuse me, I still need to get into that. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Roger Dean cover. He did the artwork for the Octopus. Looks like Roger Dean in any case. There's just lyrics inside. There's no band pictures or anything. Tells you about the how they recorded and whatever, and who's in the band. Really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to listening to that as well. Genesis. Gentle Giant. All these G's. And then I found another Gentle Giant. This is not a remastered, but I'm glad I got this. This is also an early album, Acquiring the Taste. And it's the right name for this album because this is quite heavy stuff. Well, not heavy, it's just very involved. Gentle Giant was a band that you either got or you didn't. It's like Zappa. But yeah, these guys used to swap their instruments and very interesting stuff. Very English. Like Genesis, but just in a different way. But yeah, one of the stand-up progressive rock bands from the UK in the 70s. I think they called it a day in the 80s. Made a few later day albums which they were trying to change their sound up a bit to go with the times. I don't think it worked out that well. But for me, the early stuff like Acquiring the Taste and these two, I think there's a few others that I still need to get. The Power and the Glory, In a Glass House. I'm trying to think what the very first one, just called Gentle Giant. And then there's a few of the later ones as well. I do have Freehand that I got recently on vinyl from a previous fair, and The Missing Piece, but I think that was a later one. So there we go. That's where I spend my millions. You know, being the poor pensioner, I can't buy like tons of... That's the thing. You go to these fairs and then you see that you want and you see that you want. But, you know, the old purse strings are just getting pulled tighter and tighter, and there's no ways I can do that. So yeah, one does get a little frustrated. I know there's another final fair happening at the end of this month, but I think I might have to give that one a miss. I'll wait till December till I go and get another one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please, down below, any comments, any of these albums that you have, any of the bands that featured here, if you enjoy them or if you don't enjoy them, let me know. And yeah, give me a thumbs up. It'll be great. It helps the channel. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you soon. I'm going to do another video on somebody who went solo. Catch you soon, guys. Bye-bye.